YouTube? It's Boss Lady Wits. I'm back with another video. Welcome to my channel. If you can't tell by the title, I'm gonna be basically doing a story time of how basically last night I ended a toxic relationship that I was in for 4 months. So I'm not gonna waste no more time, but before we jump into the video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and we just gonna go ahead and get started. So around this time last year, I had made a POF account. Because I not just broken up, but I had been single for a little bit or whatever. I had got out of a 2-year relationship in like April, I think. So like around this time, like it was just like, I just want to put myself back out there. So I had this account, conversated with people and whatever, but it wasn't until May, I was just like, I was actually about to get rid of the account, and then that's when this person had hit me up. So we talked a couple times or whatever, and he was like, I want you to FaceTime me. So we FaceTime, and he was like, I really mess with you, like you really cool, this, that, and the third. So like it became like we was talking every day. You know how when you first meet somebody, you talk every day, practically all day or whatever. So that's what it was. So I was brought up in church, like, and people who know me know that I was brought up in church or whatever. So, and I had prayed because I'm just at the age now where, like, I'm a full-time student. I work full-time. So at this age, I'm 21. So at this age, I want to be building with someone so that way when I'm finished school, we have built that bond. So that way I can start the next chapter of my life. I won't have to be just starting. Like, I want to be able to finish college, graduate, get my degree, and then if I'm with somebody and they decide to take that next step, we can take it because we have that bond or whatever. So that's like where I want to be. So we got to talking and everything was okay. So but like I said, so I had prayed and I was like, God, like, if this is the guy that if this is a guy that's for me, Lord, let it be, and just help us grow, with one another. And if not, Lord, just give me a sign. Y'all, I lied to y'all not. I put my right hand up to God. It was either the day after or the next day after I said that prayer. It was like, I don't remember exactly what it was or what caused him to get upset, but like we had got arguing and like he was cussing at me and all, like, just acting really crazy. And those who know me know that when I was 16, I was in a toxic relationship as well. So like I kind of already knew the signs. So like in my mind, I'm like God, like, you real funny, like this ain't a sign, like you playing, like you wouldn't do that to me, like no. So like I brushed it off, but I mean I asked him and he gave me my answer, but I ignored it, being disobedient. So you know how people like that are, the I'm sorry, this, that, and the third. So it was like, okay, whatever. So time goes on and everything was okay. And now mind you, he lives in Richmond, I'm all the way in Maryland. Like, he's in Virginia, I'm in Maryland, which is whatever. So we met in May. Then June I had finally went down to Richmond to go spend the weekend with him, because by this point like we're bonding or whatever, and by this point like we're in a relationship where he technically never asked me out. He just started just randomly calling me babe and bae and all that. So like he never like was like, do you want to be my girlfriend, nothing like that, so just kind of went along with the motions. So everything was cool when I went down there, whatever. Like, to me it was odd, but everybody's different. But like, this is my first time of us meeting face to face or whatever, and you're gonna introduce me to your whole, like, I met so many family members. It was really crazy to me. Like, I would never try to introduce you to so many people just meeting you, like that's just not what I would do. But everybody's different, so that's cool. So then it was like, spent the weekend, everything was fine or whatever. Get back home, I feel like it was like another argument, but I don't really understand, like, remember, like, because this is like months ago, what the argument was about. So it's like he's cussing and doing everything or whatever. And like then the next time he came down the next month, like we would just switch. Like he would come down here, I would go up there, he would come up here or whatever, like, so we were together for 4 months. he's met my mom, my pop, my sister, my aunts, my uncles. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm just to the point now where I'm tired of bringing guys around my family and they don't stick. It's like, like every time we look at this, she got a new man. Like, I don't want to be that person. So, but just going, like, y'all, I'm starting to get emotional, but like just going through the motions for the months, and then it's like the arguments went from just you being upset and you cursing to it being like F me, and things like that. Like, you say this but you don't mean that. Like, and we did get to the point eventually where we were telling each other we loved each other and everything. And he was like when we get arguing, you don't love me, this, that, and the third. So I'm like, okay, well, if that's how you feel, then you can leave. Like, there was multiple times in the beginning where I was like, like, because I'm just to the point where I'm not going to put up with mess. Like, nobody should put up with anything less. Like, don't settle. Don't do that. So I'm just like, whatever, leave. So then, like, he talked to me and he was like, I don't like when you say that. Like, that really hurts my feelings. So when you're in a relationship, you have to learn how to compromise with each other, really. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I won't say that when I get upset. So we would get arguing. I wouldn't no longer say, like, I'm done. It would be him. And, like, I try to talk to him and I'm like, well, you didn't like when I said it, but you're saying it. Like, you're justifying that it's okay for you to do something, but it's not okay for me to do it. Like, that's not how it works. Like, you can't sit here and tell me, oh, don't do this, but then you turn around and do it. Like, you can't do that. You cannot. So it was just like, like, at first, like, I was being so naive, like, and I seen the signs. Like I said, like, I've already been in a relationship like this before, like when I was 16. Like, so I'm seeing like the same pattern, the same transition, but it's like, I'm like, whatever. Cause like, talking to him, he's had a hard life. So everything, like, I was using that as a crutch, basically. Like, oh, he had a hard life, that's why he act like this. He had a hard life, that's why he talked like this to me. And then, like, halfway through our relationship, I don't know, but it was a point in where he just started to, like, point out my flaws. Like, my face. Like, I'm really insecure about my dark marks, my acne marks on my face. And, like, I confided in him and told him that. Like, I was like, that's something, like, one of my insecurities. Like, if I had to pick something, like, that would probably be it, because, like, people see my face. And, like, he would, like, get on the phone and something like, yeah, you need to, like, keep your face clean. And, like, he would just start talking about it, like, and not like in a, like, I'm trying to help you, but it was just like you try to make a joke out of it, but it's not funny. Or, like, you would start to talk about me, like, it was always talking about me, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. When we get arguing, it was always, oh, it's your fault, like, it was always me. He just has a very narcissistic, I think that's how you pronounce the word, like, attitude, like, personality, that's the word I'm looking for. Like, he just has that personality. And it's like, like, it was one point where, like, all of this is just happening. Like, he's making me feel like I'm the reason that our relationship is how it is. He's making me feel like I'm the reason we're arguing. Like, he's making, like, like, people who are narcissistic do that. They have that effect on you. And it's like I'm still in the back of my mind, like, he's just been through a lot. Like, he don't really mean what he say or whatever. So, I went through this for the whole 4 months. So about 2 weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks, it hasn't been that long ago, we had got arguing. And, like, I just feel like all this that's going on in months before all this is happening, like, I'm the type of person, like, I'll dive right into it and I'm like head over heels, like, I'm giving my all. But when you start to do things and I'm telling you, like, don't do this because you're gonna push me away, and when you start to actually push me away, you lose me. So I started to become numb to you in a way. And that's how it was. Like, this last month or so, like, I've been in the relationship, but I really haven't been in the relationship. Like, I've just had the title, but really on my end, I really haven't had, like, no emotional connection. Like, I've just been drained. Like, it mentally drains you, and, like, it's just draining. And, like, he wasn't understanding. Like I said, I work full-time. I'm a full-time student. I work 12-hour shifts, 7 p to 7 a. I get off work, I take an hour nap, and then I go straight to class. So after I get out of class at 2, like, I go home and I go to sleep because, like, I haven't had sleep. Like, he's like, why are you so tired? This, that, and the third. Like, it was wrong for me to be tired. And I'm working. Like, I could see if I had went out to the club or something like that. Like, but it was an issue for me to be tired. But when you're tired, it's okay for you to, oh, you know, I'm tired, I'm about to go to sleep. This, that, and the third. Like, it's okay for you to do that. But for me, it's a problem. Like, it was like he just found something in everything. Like, something out of nothing. Now, I will say this. I'm not going to say he was wrong every time, but 95% of the time, most of our arguments were on his behalf. And there was even a point where he told me, like, he's damaged. Like, it was kind of like he knew, and, like, as I was using it as a crutch, I feel like he uses it as a crutch too. Like, he tries to use that as an excuse. But we just gonna fast forward to all that's going on or whatever, and I'm just going through the motions with all that. So 2 weeks ago, we were arguing or whatever, and he was like, you're really acting like a bitch. And, you know, so I hung up, like, because I will take a lot, but that amount of disrespect, like, to call me out my name, like, I do not, like, I'm not gonna deal with that. Like, I'm not. Like, you can say whatever you want to me, but don't call me out my name. So, you know, it was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. You know, the typical, that's what they do. Narcissistic people do that. Like, they'll talk to you crazy, and then it's like, oh, I'm sorry. They'll give you a little sad story, make you feel like everything is okay when it's not. And you know, so I forgave him, but really, like, it still didn't sit with me. Like, it still didn't sit with me good or whatever. So yesterday, I had got off work, and I didn't have school, obviously, because it was Saturday, but I had homework to do. I had my math homework to do. So I had worked 3 days in a row, and 3 12s in a row. My group was horrible, so I was exhausted from work. So I got off, went straight to my sister's house, you know, showered, took my nap. So I slept until like 1:30. And the first thing I usually do when I wake up is I grab my phone, I'll check my phone, you know, I'll get on Facebook, you know, whatever. So I had got on Facebook and I had shared something, and I had just went downstairs and just started my homework after that. So he calls me. He's like, you know, why didn't you call me this morning? And I was like, you know, well, I had got off. Well, how long have you been up? Like, this is only like 2-ish. And I was like, you know, I'm just getting up. Like, I haven't been up that long. And he's like, I know you've been up. Like, because he's seen that I post. Like, I obviously know, like, you seen that I posted something on Facebook. But he said he had been up for a while as well. So I'm like, as well as I could have texted you, you could have texted or called me as well. You know, at this point, like, we're on the phone. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm just doing my homework. And then he was like, then he got quiet. And he just started blasting music over the phone, like, in my ear and everything. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, so then he was like, well, I'm going to call you back. So I was all right. So I'm doing my homework or whatever. Like, and I had, like, it didn't seem like a lot, but it was a lot of math homework. Like, I was doing my homework from 1 to, like, 6:50. And so I finished my homework. I'm on my way home because I was getting ready to go out. So on my way home, he had texted me, y'all. Don't act like you didn't hear this. But on my way home, he had texted me, and he was like, what'd he say? He said, oh, are you good or no? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. I was just doing my homework or whatever. And like, and he was like, yeah, because you haven't, like, been talking to me today. And I was like I said, I was doing my homework. So I get home, and he's like still texting me, like, asking me, like, questioning me, like he didn't believe that I was doing my homework. So, like, I'm in the midst of all, like, these messages. Like, I'm getting in the shower. Like, I'm getting ready because I'm getting ready to go out. So I guess I wasn't replying fast enough because I was in the shower. So he called me, and he was like, so what do you want to do? Y'all, at this point, like, last night, like, I was just so numb to the situation. Like, I really didn't care. Like, I was just like, if you want to leave in this relationship, I really don't care or whatever. But the craziest thing before I go on and tell like how this night transpired, on my way home before, he texted me when I first got in my car. When I get in my car, I pray that, God just protects me while I'm driving and whatnot. And I had also was like, Lord, I'm tired. Like, Lord, I'm tired, and I'm tired. Like, God, can I was like, Lord, if he has to be mad and end it, like, I don't mind. Like, but God, I'm tired. And, like, I was talking to my mom. He called me, and my mom was like, what's wrong with him or whatever. I feel like she did ask me what's wrong or something, or no, she said, what's he doing? And I was like, he's at work. And I kind of like told her like, yeah, but he's upset at me or whatever, because I was doing my homework and I ain't really talked to him today. Now, on my part, like, I'm not gonna sit here and say like this whole situation, this particular day was all him, because on my end, okay, I could have stopped my homework and sent him a text, how's work going, like I could have, or when I got home I could have said, good morning or something, but I didn't. I was tired. I feel like that's a legit reason. Like, I just wanted to sleep at that point. But doing my homework, I could have said, like, how's work, something, so I can't, so I get, okay, a little frustration, but to go to the extreme is a bit much. So, we were on the phone, and he was like, so what do you want to do? What do you want to do? So, I'm like, at this point, I was like, honey, I really don't care. I was like, baby, just let me know what you want to do. I was like, because I don't care. And he said something like, you're lost, or something like I was going to be basically saying, like, if I break up with him, like, it's going to be my loss, like, I'm going to be losing something. So I was like, please tell me, what exactly have you done for my life in these last 4 months that has benefited me? Please let me know. And he was like, oh, so it's like that. And he hung up. So I'm thinking, like, that's the end of it or whatever. And, like, then he called me back, and he says, and by the way, delete my SB. And I'm like, you know what? Like, this is the second time, like, you don't call me on my name. Like, I'm not going to keep putting up with this. Like, so I was like, you know what? Like, that's the last straw. So, whatever, I finished getting dressed. I go out. So, on the way out, he's calling. Like, I'm not picking up at first. Like, calling. So then eventually I'm like, what do you want? Like, I was telling him, like, you said I'm a B. Like, you said F me. Like, you keep saying I'm a toxic person. Like, so why do you, if I'm all of this, like, does that make sense? Like, you're saying that I'm all of this, so why would you still want to pursue a relationship with me? Like, that doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So, in the midst of this, of us him calling me, my sister texted me and was like, what, did you and him break up? And I was like, yeah, how you know? Like, like, I hadn't really told nobody. And she sent me a screenshot. Like, he went in her inbox and said, your sister is toxic as ass. So I don't remember everything. I'm gonna put the screenshot on here. But I'm toxic as ass. And he was like, you're a good mom on God. Like, I was like, that's a bit extra, but whatever. Okay, cool, whatever. Like, first of all, yeah, my sister, like, she didn't get nasty with you or nothing, but at the end of the day, that's my sister. Like, she's not gonna, like, she knows, she's done known me for 21 years. You know what I'm saying? So, it's my sister. So, like, the whole night I'm out, he's calling. Like, I'm picking up maybe every other time, or not every other time, like every 3 to 4 calls or whatever. And I'm like, can you please just stop calling me? Like, or what do you want? And like, he's still just trying to fuss. So we get to the place that we're going out, and he was like, yeah, it's real crazy how you told me you was doing homework, but you out. Nigga, I told you I was doing homework 1 o'clock this afternoon. 1 o'clock this afternoon, I told you I was doing homework. It is now 10 o'clock at night. So I was like, okay, and I tried to explain to him, like, I've been done my homework, like, hours ago. Like, he wasn't trying to listen. He was talking over me or whatever. He was talking over me and just wasn't trying to hear it, just still cussing and everything. So then I was like, okay, whatever. So I hung up. So then he didn't call me for a little bit. We going to place, whatever. We vibing, listening to music, doing everything. So then he FaceTimes me. So I pick it up. Like, at this point, like, I'm just being kind of spiteful. And then on top of that, like, we was out. So, whatever. So I pick it up. So I guess he was trying to ruin my fun or whatever. So like I like set my camera on the table that we were sitting at, and I'm like dancing, like let him know, like, baby, you are not going to ruin this. Like I'm in a good mood. Like, you are not going to ruin my fun. So, or whatever. So, night goes on, he's calling, whatever, and I'm not picking up or whatever. So then it was like, after you're cussing me out, after I'm all types of B's, after it's F me, this, that, and the third, like he was texting me, like, what are you doing? Like, everything was okay. Like as if it was okay. So I ignored it, and then I get home, it's like, all right, bet. Like, I've been told you, like, we were done hours ago. So what are you talking about? Bet what? Like, we're done. So get home. So then, like, I was eating a sandwich because I hadn't ate all day and I had been out, like, so I was hungry. And he FaceTimed me, and he was basically asking, like, oh, so we never ever gonna get back together. Like, in his mind, he was thinking that I was gonna break up with him for a month to get back with him or whatever, and he didn't like that. So he started cussing. I told him, like, we're not together, baby. I don't have to listen to this no more. So I hung up. He calls me back and he says, B, don't you ever hang up on me again. So this is the third time that he's gonna call me out my name. Like, I tried to be nice and even have a conversation with you, but it's obvious that that's really not what you're after. You're not after legit conversations or whatever. So, it was just to the point eventually where I just stopped answering. And I lie to y'all not, y'all, he called me, I think it was like 35 times in a row. Like, and I can show you. Like, I can show y'all. And I'm just like, like, what's the point of that? So it was to the point where it's like 4:30 in the morning where I'm just like, you know what, I'm done. So I just go ahead and I just block him on Messenger. I blocked him from FaceTime. I blocked him from calling me. I blocked his text messages. Like, I blocked him on everything. And, like, and I was at peace. Usually when you go through a breakup, like, you feel some type of way, but I was just at peace. Like, it was just a peace, and I was just so grateful because, like, first of all, I was like, I've been going through this for 4 months, playing it off like I'm extremely happy, knowing that I'm really not. And it's like I finally got the oomph to, the strength to end something. Like, it's just at peace. Like, I didn't cry. Like, I felt good about myself. Like, I felt so good when I did this. Like, there was times even where he would threaten, like, yeah, if I was with you right now, he would say, like, either he was going to choke the S out of me, he would punch me in my face, he would slap me. Like, it was times, like, he would say that. Like, he would threaten me like that. Like, he would put his hands on me. It was just so much. And then, like, every time we get in an argument or something, like, you're going and telling your sister, you're going to tell somebody, like, you're dragging our business in the street. And you don't do that in a relationship. Like, you're telling people, like, and all this is going on, like, you putting on Facebook, like, be careful who you invest your time, your money, and all this in. Like, baby, what money did you put in me? Like, you didn't buy me nothing. You never gave me nothing. I think the only thing that he ever bought me was a movie ticket. Other than that, when he would come see me, I would pay for all his meals and all that. Oh, I lied. He got me a shirt. So, I mean, a movie ticket and a shirt. But I even got screenshots of where I used to cash app him. Oh, baby, you got $10. Oh, baby, you got $5. Da-da-da-da-da. Sometimes, and I would be down to my last. But because that is my man, and I'm going to make sure he good, like, I'm going to help you. Like, so, it's just, like, for you to sit up here and say, I don't care, I never loved you, like, I feel like you're projecting your feelings on me. Like, this is how you feel. Like, you didn't care. I don't really think that you necessarily love me. You just used me for what you could get, really, honestly. And I feel like, but you learn from your mistakes or whatever. And then after we broke up, and before I had blocked him, I left out this part. He was like, well, basically, I'm going to just try to say this in the most, like, PG way. Like, basically, he was just saying, like, us messing and his sensation after us messing was worth it, basically, in so many words. Like, basically saying, like, in so many words, like, he just used me for that. And then, like, before I blocked him, he also was, like, saying that he cheated and all this other stuff. So I don't know at this point if he's just trying to make me feel bad or what. But I'm just like, like, I really don't care. Like, Like, I really don't care or whatever. So, I mean, it's just, it is what it is, but it's a learning experience. Like, ladies and guys, like, don't settle for nobody. Like, if you feel like somebody is toxic, you need to get out. Like, it will really mess you up mentally. Like, and I'm already going through my own personal battles mentally, so just to have that going on top, like, then I'm going to school, then I'm working, like, I was like so messed up, like, these last 4 months. Like, these last 4 months has just been so horrible for me. Like, I'm battling my own thing, and just to top it off, like, I had to put up with that as well. So it was just like a struggle, and then it's like day to day I'm just walking around like everything's okay, like everything is all right when it's not. Don't put up with nothing that you have to deal with. Like, if you don't have to deal with it, don't put up with it. And like, I feel like this time around, like, I've learned that, like, you don't have to sit up here and put up with something, like, especially if you know that you're worth more than that, and I feel like I had lost my worth dating him. Like, I just feel like I just lost myself, and nothing but God, like, help me, like, Whitney, this is not where you belong. This is not the place that you belong. So my advice would be just never to settle for anything less than your worth. If you're in one and you think it's hard to get out, like, it will seem like it's hard and rough, because they make it seem like it's hard and rough, because they make you feel like you're the bad person in the situation, when in all reality it's not you. Like, they make you feel like it's you. It's not you. So anybody going through anything like this, just my advice is just be persistent and just know, like, I'm better than this. This is not how things should go for me. This is nothing, like, and like, now, like, I'm just at the point, like, I've been smiling all day. I went to church, y'all, and church was just so good. It was just what I needed. And it was just it was just crazy how, like, it seemed like God confirmed everything that I was going through last night. Like, he was just letting me know, like, baby, you don't have to go through that. Baby, you don't have to put up with that. Like, you don't have to. Like, and nobody does. No guy should put up with a toxic woman, and no woman should put up with a toxic man. Like, nobody should go through that. Never. Like, never let nobody talk down on you. Never let nobody make you feel like you're inadequate, because everybody has a purpose. Never lower your standards to accommodate somebody else, because there's somebody who will meet your standards and maybe then some. So, y'all, that's my video. That's my story time. Thank you for everybody, because I was really nervous to do this video. Just because I just feel like nobody will want to listen to nothing that I go through, because I feel like I'm just the inadequate. I don't think that's the word I need to use, but, like, I just feel like I'm just kind of, I don't want to say a nobody, but I just feel like nobody really listens to me. Like, I really don't do much. I'm just here. Like, I don't mingle with a lot of people or nothing like that. But thank you for everybody that told me to tell my story. I hope that if somebody else is going through this or been through this, like, this can touch you and help you. Just it's a lot of knowing your worth and your value, and don't lose yourself trying to please people. You can't do that. So thank you, and that's it.